All right, let's get to it, though. Walter and Ilja Dragunov, the rematch for the NXT UK title that should be the NXT title. Actually, Walter should be in the mix for, well, one of the world championships on the main programs. They've, however many they've got now, 3, 5, 6, whatever. These guys they get it. And I've said a million times, Walter projects himself and works the way he should work better than anybody else I can't say work his gimmick because he's not a gimmick. He just works as he should work and projects himself as he should be projected better than anybody else does themselves in the business, I think. I've never yet to see Walter do anything in the ring that he shouldn't be fucking doing, whether he can do it or not. Have you?
I haven't in the matches we've seen, and I haven't gone out of my way to see any of the NXT UK stuff just because with the no fans, the American stuff was rough enough. But I've never seen him do anything but serious wrestling, and I've never seen him do anything but get over in that room, whatever room he's in. He's fantastic.
But I mean, and he doesn't try to go up to the top rope and stand there and wait for somebody to climb up, because he shouldn't be doing that. And so he doesn't. I'm sure he probably could, but he won't. However, before I go on to rave about this match, I have an email from a listener because this is pertinent. Eric from Portland said, wanted to pass along this interesting observation made by my better half during the Walter Ilja match at TakeOver 36. She's a passive, casual fan who watches with me and keeps up with what I watch, but is by no means anything but a casual viewer of the big cards and matches. She's not smart to the business and watches it for what's presented on TV. During the Walter Ilja match, she noted immediately that if wrestling was real, a female referee would not be assigned to a match like that. She said it was distracting and unrealistic and likely dangerous for Ms. Carr to be mixed in with these guys beating the piss out of each other. I found this interesting as she is quite progressive in her views, generally speaking, but she recognized that if Walter and Ilja were supposed to be having a legitimate sporting contest, then she'd be more worried about the referee's safety than the match in the ring. I don't really have a question based on this, but felt it was important to pass along. Thank you, Eric. Because that's the hope. A female referee distracts visually from the elements of violence that they're trying to create and beating themselves up to do it. And I guess I don't guess Walter has the pull. I'm sure Ilja doesn't, but if I'd have been one of them or both or the spokesman or whatever, I would have gone and asked, hey, can't we get our referee switched? Because this is fucking silly. But anyway, especially because the girl referee that they've got, Aubrey has some type of look. She has no more authority anymore. She started out pretty good with the one with the authority. That's gone out the window long ago, but she has some kind of look. This girl looks like a cashier at Arby's. But anyway, again, in the 50s through the 80s, Walter would have been one of the 5 biggest heels in the business. He's a Don Leo Jonathan. He's a Gene Kiniski. He's a Killer Kowalski when Kowalski was young. Just that big, rangy, tall, athletic, keeps coming at you. This was a wrestling match. It was a fight. They had a struggle. It was a contest. They worked the size difference well. The mat work was tight and precise and believable. Walter did the gotch lift. At one point, he chopped old Ilja, and Ilja took, when he was sitting on the top rope there after the gotch lift, and Ilja took the Bobby Eaton bump off the apron to the floor. I can't explain how much I like Ilja's selling, not only his facials, but his body language. Yes. He doesn't just take every bump the same. Like we were talking about Bobby Eaton did, especially when he was so young. Every time you hit him, he takes a different kind of bump or goes a different kind of way, or the body goes limp. And so, I mean, the strikes, the kicks, the chops, even these guys' forearms all looked good for the most part. And it was the same thing I said the first time. People were going, well, nobody wants anybody to work that reckless with them. There was nothing in this match that was reckless. There were things that were dangerous, but they were done in a controlled way, and it was a safe, stiff match, not to try to dilute any of their efforts or what they were creating. I don't say it was safe in terms of not painful. It was not reckless. It was not dangerous. It was not unprofessional in a way where either guy had a disregard for the other guy. They're good. They've made agreements amongst themselves of what they can fucking get away with and push the envelope with, and that's not reckless or unprofessional. That's dedication and it's talent also. And Walter, the ring general thing is he's got a great pace, and they go up and down, but they never slow down where you're like, oh, I wish this would pick up, and they never go so fast that you're thinking, oh my God, they should slow down. Ilja's wonderful at that fighting from underneath, but he became a madman on his fucking comeback. And he's got that thing where he flipped. And I'm starting to think, I said he'd never be a main event guy in the WWE. He might, I still don't know whether he will be or not, but he could be, because he's the kind of guy as an underdog babyface with that combination. He's got a fighter face, and it looks cherubic at the same time. You know what I'm saying? He looks childish and badass at the same time. People can get with that, with the way this guy can sell.
Babyface assassin.
Yeah, there you go. And they got a holy shit chant for no gimmicks, no furniture, no stunts. It was two guys hand to hand. And when they started going back and forth with the big stuff, people were going batshit. Walter, a splash off the top rope deep in the match. It was a long match, but it didn't seem like it because you didn't want it to be over and you didn't want him to hurry up. But when he hit that splash, that he doesn't come off the top except for that. And it got a big pop on a 2 count because people thought that might be it. Just a splash off the top. Imagine that. And he had turned Ilja's chest into hamburger meat. And, they say things like fortunate juice. When somebody gets busted open, it adds to the match. It's a happy, not coincidence, but it's just a happy happenstance that Ilja is so pale. Because if he ever got a tan, that shit wouldn't show up half as good as that. He's just so pale and white-skinned that it looks great. Right? And then finally, when Ilja got to rear naked choke on him, Walter climbed the ropes with Ilja on his back and jumped off to break it, but Ilja got it back, which was a cool thing. Ilja gets it back. Walter gets up again and falls back. Ilja holds on, and then let go of it enough to fucking pound him. Just fucking kick, stuff, boom, 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 and got it again and yanked back real good, and Walter tapped. And if you'd have said before this match, oh, they're going to have Walter tap out, that's going to kill it. He shouldn't. But in this case, they worked hard enough for it. I didn't mind him tapping. I wish he was tapping in the main event at WrestleMania, because that's where he ought to be. But, and Ilja gets the belt and is crying. That, again, I say, if the comedy writers, the corporate America, and the cosplayers had not taken over starting about 30 years ago, and pro wrestling had evolved from a Bill Watts or a territory basis or whatever, this is what I think it would have looked like. You watched it twice. Go ahead and admit it.
I did. I think it's the best match I've seen in as long as I can remember. I loved it better than the first match. A lot of that because the fans were there. So you finally got some real reaction. But it was great, and none of the false finishes offended me. And they kicked the shit out of each other, and it was believable. There weren't holes in anything. I love this match. Hold on, my chair is squeaking. God damn it. I love this match, I was saying.
As you were saying before the squeak.
But yeah, I watched it a second time, actually. Just because at one point I thought they were getting near the end when I was watching it live. I watched that one live. And I thought they were getting near the end. And then all of a sudden it picked up and it just kept going and it got better and better and better. Just fantastic match.
And I guarantee you, those guys' mindset, what they would have done if they could have, and they probably realized if they had of it to fuck the match up because they'd be liable to stop it or whatever. Boy, Walter, if they were left to their own devices or in a real wrestling promotion having a match like that, Walter would have knuckled that fucking cut that Ilja had from getting busted hard way from the match with Roddy the other night, and he could have got some fucking juice. And then can you imagine if he was covered in fucking blood and had that choke on Walter and Walter tapped out? Can you see that visual?
That was the best shape I've seen him in too, Walter.
Yes. And you know, but at the same time, he's so different. He's not a jacked up bodybuilder, but he's so big and those paws are so bad. And the way he hits and the way that he conducts himself, he's like a throwback to a wrestler from long ago that you believed was a badass, but he has no muscular definition where you could go, wow, look at that guy. He's just a fucking big bully heel. Like I said, the Gene Kiniski kind of guy. Or, you know, Kowalski before he got older and was such a vegetarian that he was so lean when he was younger and had the great cardio, but he was so thick. And you see the pictures of him just, you know, jacked up, but not vascular, as the bodybuilders say. Anyway, I mean, I can't, I know I'm going to kill my gimmick, you know, but they gave me two things in the same week to really like so far. So holy mackerel, what am I going to do? This was as Punk was to a verbal exhibition of the art of wrestling. This was the in-ring. And it was misplaced, as we will talk about as we go forward, because this should have gone on last. Because what are you going to do after this?
I could tell you what I did after this. I decided I would go downstairs and stop watching, and I would lay down on the couch and just relax for a little while, and that's exactly what I did.
What? But now, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you didn't let me know beforehand that you've got that incredible, all-new couch from the folks at Helix Sleep Allform? And you didn't tell me that it had come in? You're already sleeping on it? I told you to let me know when that came in.
Which I thought I had, and I guess I haven't. Not only do I have my Allform couch from those fine people at Helix Sleep, but I've actually, since that time we've gotten it, ordered an extension. So we added another seat, and we added a chase, and some pillows on the side, and now I'm almost close enough to the kids letting me sit on it.
See, you can do this with this stuff from Helix Allform. And we've been talking about this. If you've listened to the show for a while, you've heard us. We've talked about the Helix mattresses that we sleep like babies on. But we've also talked about the new Helix Allform sofas. It's the easiest way that you can customize a sofa using premium materials and at the fraction of the cost of the traditional stores. You pick your fabric, which is spill, stain, and scratch resistant. You pick the sofa color, the color of the legs, the size, the shape. You can measure your house. They've got all kinds of components. They've got armchairs and love seats all the way up to an 8-seat sectional. So there's something for everybody. And as Brian, as you just said, you can start out with one thing and buy more later on and just stick them right on the side. And you don't even need to use glue. It's amazing. And you can reconfigure the shapes and change when you move. The Allform sofas are also delivered directly to your house. You don't have to go to the store. It's fast, free shipping. And if you buy sofas from traditional retailers, it takes sometimes months to get there. And you need somebody to either cart it in or assemble it or whatever. Allform takes a couple of weeks. It comes in the mail and you put it together yourself. No tools needed. Actually, you have child labor there, and child labor is recommended on these things. But anyway, folks,
it's not recommended on this or any item that we talk about here on the show, for the record.
Child labor, well, my action figures, but I gave those kids a 4 cents an hour raise. Anyway, they're big and roomy. They're comfy. It's great to have these nice couches without going to the stores. You get 100 days to decide if you want to keep it. That is somewhere around 3 months, give or take. And if you don't love it, they'll pick it up for free and give you a full refund. They offer exclusive discounts for teachers, students, military, and first responders with financing and flexible payment plans. Flexible payment plans. You can play flexibly, or you can pay flexibly because it's a flexible payment plan. If you want to pay a little, that's fine. If you want to pay a lot, that's fine. If you don't want to pay, they'll come and find you. But anyway, they offer a forever warranty, literally forever, and that's how long they'll hunt for you if you don't pay for these. To find your perfect sofa, check out allform.com. That's ALLFORM, allform.com/JCE. You're going to get that 20% off all your order. For our listeners at allform.com/JCE, Allform is something that you'll be involved with forever.
That's right. Don't make them chase you down.
Don't make them come
after you. They'll find people at Allform.
They will find. I'll tell you what, they'll find you all right.
Oh, they'll find you on your couch, relaxing. Possibly watching NXT.